Hey guys, Sean Bucci here. You can find us on both surplusfundsriches.net. We do quite a bit of surplus funds recovery, and also on deedflipping.com. This video is one of a series of 6 videos that's designed to train you how to make the highest profit flipping property in 2022 and in the coming 5 to 10 years. This is episode 1. Basically, this is what property to target for the highest profit. And no, it's not what you think. We're giving you a lot of good thumbnail heuristic tools that will help you quite a bit. I'll allow you to go ahead and freeze this video if you'd like to see what the other episodes contain. In this episode, we're going to talk about what property to target for the highest possible. So in considering profit, you're looking at the 3 M's: motivation, market, and margin. Motivation: are you targeting property where the seller is motivated to sell it? Going after vacant property or just sending out mailings to everybody, that is a waste of time, money, and energy, and it's going to destroy your margin. Zig Ziglar once said the fear of loss outweighs the desire for gain, and he was dead on, like everything else he said. So we go after sellers about to lose their homes in a property tax foreclosure. It's easy to get the list, guys. You can go online, literally plug in the city or county name followed by upcoming tax deed sales or upcoming tax sales. You don't want to go after tax liens or tax lien certificates. It's upcoming tax sales where they're actually selling the property. Really easy to get the list, and the seller has demonstrated they can't meet their payment, generally years of back taxes unpaid, and there's a schedule for foreclosure date, so there's a deadline. Now this takes us to the market where the property is located. So let's talk about that next. I'm going to go through this quickly, guys. It's designed to give you the tools you need without any fluff. All right, so now let's talk about the market. This is the portion of the market that is most, it should say profitable here, so let's fix that. Most profitable within its geographic market. You have to know the market well enough to avoid issues. I'll get into that. We have a market hack for that. You want to avoid price points in areas that are overly competitive. Listen, dumpster diving works the best. We're doing this all over the country, and it works the best. Buy the junk. Buy the stuff that's fallen down into the ground. You don't want to go after unimproved property. You want to go after where there's an existing structure that has the hookups that can either be a tear down or they can the person can fix it up. The investor you're going to sell it to can fix her up and make good money. You'll understand this a little better when I get to margin. You want to target properties that have tax values 40% or less of median sales. Write this down, of median sales price for your area. You can Google the median price using and use assessor data for the tax value. That's easy to do. You literally put tax assessor, name of the county and the state. That'll come up, and you can search by property address and find what the value is. The tax value is of the property. You want that to be 40% or less of the median sales price in that area. Excuse me. It's a lot easier to find than you think, by the way. You want to know if a market or submarket, like for instance a suburb to a larger market, is hot. Well, here's how you make sure. Find out, or have a realtor find out for you, how many similar homes sold in the past year. By similar, I mean size within 20% of the square feet and same type, ranch, 2-story, etc. Take that number and divide it by 12, and you'll get the number of similar homes that sold over the past year on a monthly average basis, right? 300 sold last year. That means there's 25 on average selling per month. This is an average. Obviously, there are seasonal differences, blah, blah, blah. This is what you're going with. Number 3, take the number of similar homes on the market now and divide it by the number you came up with in 2. That is, projected number of months to sell that home. If this number is under 3 months, it's under 3, you may very well have gold. Now let's check the margin, because now we're talking about profit, and this is the most important part. Okay, margin. The flip with zero aggravation, or AG. That's how we're teaching you to do this, guys. Fixing up is AG, and it increases the risk. So you want to get it cheap enough, right? Scroll down a little more. You want to get it cheap enough To flip it to a fix-up and investor, you'll sell the home cash in weeks with zero aggravation. We typically double our money in 2 weeks. Here's the formula you're going to use, guys. Obviously, you can hit pause if you want, for determining what to offer while keeping the profit margin you want. Number one, what's the value of the home going to be fixed up? Okay, less the cost to fix it up. In other words, you can go online and find Zillow, recent sales, Realtor.com, whatever. You can look at the recent sales in similar property. Don't compare 2 stories to 1 stories and all that. Similar property, and subtract that. Zillow is going to give you an estimate. They call it a Zestimate. The other guys will give you an estimate as well. Take the average, let's say, over 3 different online systems, or enlist the help of a realtor. That value, the home fixed up, less the cost to fix it, we're going to call that the gross margin. The gross margin, less the profit to the investor, most of them want to make 25 grand, and less closing costs. The investor is going to want to use an attorney or a settlement company. That's usually 5 grand or less, and less any real estate fee if you're using a real estate agent, or you're listing it, one-time shot where you list it for a fee online with the local MLS service. You're still going to have to pay the buyer's agent on that. If you do that, you got to include that as a cost, and that will leave you the price the investor's willing to pay, because he knows he's got X amount of dollars he's got to put into it, right? And he knows where he's got to end up to be in profit. Now, the price the investor will pay lists any debt against the property, any debt against the property that you have to pay off. In other words, the tax debt. And of course, you got to double check title work to make sure there wasn't additional debt against the property, because you're buying this prior to the foreclosure. But that price the investor will pay lists any debt against the property, and less profit you want to make equals the max price you can offer to the owner of the property. That's going to leave you how much money you can pay the owner and still get what you want, and make sure you leave enough meat on the bones for the investor to get what they want. It's a very straightforward formula. You don't have to overcomplicate this. Now listen, be sure to watch, it might not be up yet, how to get the property for the least amount of money, and the documents and methods you'll use to do that. And guys, we do not use assignments or subject to contracts. It's a waste of time. We'll get into that in episode 2. Now, when it's published, the link will show up to episode 2 at the end of this episode. You'll literally be able to just click it. Before then, subscribe to the channel so you're notified when more videos go up. And we, of course, encourage comments and questions. Please let us know what you thought of the video and whether or not you're excited to continue to watch more episodes. Thanks. Have a great day.